Welcome to Deliciously Motivated Mindset, hosted by Deborah and Moira. This podcast is designed to help listeners unlock their full potential, both personally and professionally, so they can thrive, not just survive. Deborah and Moira explore how natural tendencies don't always serve individuals and provide insights on how to harness existing strengths. Their goal is to equip listeners with the habits, mindset shifts, and strategies needed for lasting, meaningful change. Finding purpose and fulfillment can be challenging, but this podcast offers expert conversations, practical advice, and valuable tools to help align with a true sense of purpose and create a more fulfilling life. So grab a notebook, open your notes app, and get ready to take in some game-changing insights. Let's dive in.
Welcome, dear listeners. Welcome, dear Deb.
Hi.
Hello, lovely. Here we are with another one of our deliciously motivated mindset conversations. And this one's going to be a bit of a doozy, I think. I'm interested to see where we go with this one.
Same.
Yes, we're going to be talking about what to do when your mind says, quotation marks, not enough. And let's not pretend that your mind doesn't do that to you. But before we start, the best way to start any of these conversations is to land gently into your heart space, feeling yourself cradled by your own loving energy. It's kind of the intention with this heart coherence idea that we usually bring in at the beginning. So I encourage you to place one or both hands over your heart space, if that feels right for you. And take a nice deep breath, intending that you're breathing into your heart space. And then a long, slow exhale out through your mouth, letting go of any discombobulation, anything like your mind saying not enough, letting it go. Breathe in, pause at the top slightly, and then long, slow out breath. And as you allow your own breathing to find its natural rhythm, maybe a wee bit deeper and a wee bit slower than normal, allow yourself to feel supported by whatever you're sitting or standing on. And still concentrating that energy around your heart space, breathing into your heart and breathing out, calming your entire nervous system, letting go anything that's bothering you, any chattering mind aspects, just letting it all go for this next wee while you spend time with us. And maybe even intend that you're connecting your energy with my energy, with Deb's energy, with the energy of anyone else listening to this episode with you. And keep coming back to that idea of just connecting with your heart space. Connecting with your heart space and feeling connected to the earth below you. Feeling connected to your body, to your own inner wisdom. One more nice deep breath, and then we encourage you to grab your note-taking device of your choosing, and let's get into this conversation. What to do when your mind says not enough? What do you do when your mind says, Deb?
I sometimes use foul language back in it.
Who the hell do you think you are?
I don't think so, you mother. No, not quite people, but yeah. I think even what I just want to say, even when you're saying what to do when your mind says not enough, you said it in the same tone. You said it in the same tone as you did it. Whereas for me, what to do when your mind says not enough, like I'm just thinking like, when you were just like monotone, not monotone, but you know,
what to do when your mind says not enough.
I know, very simple. Whereas
that's not enough. That's not enough.
I think, yeah, I just had to giggle with that. I was like, oh, it's not monotone. It's the same tone. It's like, I'm like, not enough. I think just even saying that. So even just saying that is how impactful you're saying things with your tone.
Mm.
Like, and if you're changing your tone, so it's an awareness. I'd probably just say an awareness, as in, oh, it's not enough, or it's, oh, it's not enough. You'll
Yeah,
really just look at the
that's a good point.
tonality to check in how off the scales is this. Like,
Hmm.
if we were to rate this chart, how off the scales from your tone. Just be aware, and look, awareness is the biggest, thing in anything. As soon as you can see, then you can quotation fix it. As soon as you can see,
Fix
you're
it or let
aware.
it go, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's part of letting it go, isn't it? Yeah.
Yep, yep.
Fixing it is let it go. But I think once you're aware of it, go, oh, this is really impactful, or this is really heavy,
Mhm.
you can take different levels of it. Whereas it's just like, oh no, this is not, oh no, this is nothing. This is a 1 out of 10 of
Yeah,
chaos.
yeah.
So it's not even worth a blip, that. So I think just having aware of how deep this not enough is on what it is. But if you're going to do that, the other, just jumping into the next tip, pardon me, but you've got to define, what is this not enough? What have I done? What am I supposed to do? Like, so you want me to go for a run to fix
Mhm.
that ankle, or like, what is that? So there's the awareness, but also, what does this not enough look like?
Mm.
Does that make sense with those two being?
Well, it does. It does. But the overarching thing that I think kind of ties those two together, and we talked a bit about it before we hit record, is who said that,
Oh yeah, oh, of
right?
course,
And
of course.
so if
We
if it's
literally
going
just
on
talked
in,
about this.
we were, but if that dialogue is not enough, the tonality can sometimes be set by something that was inherited.
Not
Like,
yours
it's not
to hold on
yours. So,
to. Yeah,
yeah. So I can think of umpteen examples of where that's not enough, or that's not good enough, or how dare you say that that's done. And it's
yeah,
actually come from, say, my dad, or
yeah,
some outmoded pattern. So
yeah,
that that threads beautifully with what you were just saying about being aware of the tonality and how heavy or impactful it is, but then define what is that not enough part, because it can be the not enough could be somebody else's agenda,
yeah,
and
yeah,
it's got nothing to do with you,
yeah.
right?
And you're absolutely, and we hold on to it. We do. We hold on
Yeah,
to it. And I think who said that is just the voice of God. That's what we were talking about earlier.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Who said that? But it is. It's that simple thing. But when I was thinking also about this, of what to do when your mind says not enough, because don't think, people, that you're going to go through a day that it's not going to enter your head.
Yep.
Like, don't think it's not going to. Don't go, that's not going to hit me. Just know it'll happen, and when it happens, that's it, letting it go. But I think there's that, get your evidence, anchor that evidence in over your emotion. So when your feelings feel like they're a fact, but they're not. They're just not. They're an emotion that passes. But if you can get some evidence that neutralizes that emotional exaggeration. So by looking and listing, just a couple of things you've followed through on
Mhm.
recently, doesn't minimize anything, doesn't do anything. It just goes, oh, there's some facts. Actually, I have done some stuff. I have made an impact today.
Mhm.
And it's enough to go, okay, well then, that's done. Thank you. Moving on.
Hmm.
Build,
So,
building that evidence over emotion, I would say. Yeah.
but that helps build trust in you,
Mm,
right? So
yes.
I'm putting that as a separate tip altogether, but trust, because you see, I think that emotions are important for us to feel.
Oh, you can't deny your emotion. Like, you can't let that go. That's
No,
not,
but they
yeah.
can help guide you.
It's
And so
a part
this,
of that awareness, isn't it?
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
This is because, and you know that, Deb, one of my favorite questions to ask ourselves with your hands over your heart is, how does this make me feel about me? And so if my
Yeah.
mind is saying that's not enough, you can't press send on that,
Yeah.
or sign off on that project, or submit
Yeah.
that entry. Uh,
Yeah.
when when we unpack what is there, what's the learning, what's the guidance, what's the gift, but how does this make me feel about me? Sometimes, and there's actually sometimes umpteen times,
Yeah.
I will do something. I'll hit send on an email, or I will submit a chapter on a collaborative book, or I will send away for a proof of a book. All of these things have actually just happened last week. But I
You've been
might
together.
have a wee bit of a sense of trepidation, a little bit of like, maybe this isn't enough. But for right now, this is enough. This feels complete. I feel like I'm at a space where I'm ready for feedback.
Yeah.
Because what I'm coming into with my next tip, so trust is a really big piece, is that this may not be enough. But for right here, right now, it feels like it's a good enough space to invite in interaction. Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
Yeah, it does. Totally. And yeah, yep, it does.
So it's enough for this space right now. But where I'm coming
Well,
from,
everything's temporary, isn't it?
yeah,
It's enough right now.
right
It's
now,
enough
right here,
right
right
now.
now.
Right here, right now. It's enough. That's it.
Yeah,
And well, that's it just for today, isn't it?
yeah, yes, it is.
It's another
Just for
little
today,
level,
this
just for
feels
today.
right.
Yeah,
Just for today. Who knows what it'll be? Well, that's actually then being curious. For
yeah,
today, this feels like it is enough. But
yeah,
I'm not saying this is it. Finality.
yeah.
I'm open to adjusting and course correcting and putting things in, or picking things up, or things of that nature. But what I wanted to bring into this, I just said curiosity. Curiosity was the tip there. I just said.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
but the next one I wanted to talk about is comparison.
Oh,
Is that if,
oh,
right? Because if your mind is saying it's not enough, is that based upon what you think somebody else thinks? Because how you
mm,
perceive that person, or how you're rating yourself or ranking yourself compared to
yeah.
somebody else's uh, expression or position, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's not just that's comparing to who, but also to what. What are you comparing to? It's
Mm.
not just a who, it's a what, or and whose values are they? I'm
Oh
comparing
yeah,
myself to somebody who's, so when you're comparing, don't compare to what, who, and whose values are they?
yeah.
Because, I'm comparing myself to someone who's, you know, um, I don't even know why I thought about makeup. Someone wearing, because I flew down here. That's right. I just went. I came down here. I'm down in Dunedin actually at the moment doing this podcast, Dunedin, New Zealand. I flew down here and came to see Dr. John Demartini, who's on the world
Mm.
here in Dunedin. So I got down here on Thursday night, drove down here from Christchurch, and got down here and went, oh my God, I've got no makeup. All my makeup's in my sponge bag. Now I call it a sponge bag, which is your bathroom bag. Just, if I'm going
Toiletry
back,
bag.
get toiletry bag, yeah,
Yeah,
that's it.
yeah,
And I was like,
yeah.
oh no, it's at mum and dad's in the bathroom. Completely forgot. And then I
Oops.
went, oh my God, I'm going to go on the world. The world residence is just a beautiful luxury liner, to meet Dr. John DeMatteis. I was like, okay, I really would like to have my makeup, and I had none. So then I'm like, who am I comparing to? Whose values are
Mm.
mine? Actually, Deborah, most of the time you barely wear makeup anyway. You have that little, so I was like, and literally I just got that whole comparison. I went to the supermarket, I looked at everything, and then I went, you don't have to do makeup. Why are you thinking this? Who are you comparing yourself to? How we
Right.
have to. And it was a real interesting dialogue. I just remember him standing in the middle of the supermarket at 9 o'clock at night, because 9 o'clock at night, we just arrived, and I was like, do I need this? Do I know? And I was like, no, actually, don't compare yourself to anybody. But it's
Right,
comparing my values. I barely wear makeup. I
right.
barely wear makeup. So to even think I was trying to fit in by and it may sound minimal to some people, but this may land for others. But I'm not just comparing to who, I'm comparing to what. And what are my values? My values aren't all those things. I mean, I have my eyebrows and eyeliner tattooed, so it makes it look like I've got makeup. Like, I'm going for minimal as much too much
with
admin.
ease.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
With what I can do. But it is that it's who are we comparing, what are we comparing, and what's important to them compared to us. Is that
100%. Do you know the thing that came up for me as you were describing that, though, is that that's to do with self-worth also. This thing of, I
yeah.
can't show up there if I don't have the right outfit or the right makeup. That's actually denying the fact that I'm worthy of, I feel good right here, right now. I am worthy
Yeah.
of just showing up as I am.
Yeah.
Right? So it's almost like saying, I'm not enough unless I play that role.
Unless I put that, yeah.
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 Which used to be me. Now no more. Now no more. But it's definitely it is definitely was a heavy. I'm not
Yeah.
enough unless I have that.
Yes.
And
But so
standing,
right there is a who said that moment.
yeah, who said that?
Who said that? Hmm.
Well,
But
clearly not me. Yes,
clearly
no
not
more.
you. It's actually a perfect example of what we're talking about, though,
Mm.
because you felt it. You felt it, and then you felt the compulsion to go and get it, and then but
Well,
then
and my
pause.
deodorant and my toothbrush and my toothpaste and all those things
All the things that are in
and
the toiletry bag.
all the things, and even just buying stuff from the supermarket for my face, I'm like, oh, this is not me. A whole lot, but it is that not enough. It is that it's not enough, and that identity. But it definitely unpacked a bit in the supermarket aisle late at night. Yeah.
Actually, that's funny because a ring, one of the rings that I wear actually is engraved with "I am enough."
Oh,
That's
oh,
that's that's one of my, because that is sometimes that when your mind says not enough, what's not enough? We talked a wee bit about that. Was you said that earlier? What define what is the not enough? Is it that
mm,
I'm not doing enough? That I'm not saying enough? That you know, I
not
just
being
watched
enough to who? Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
just watched this really amazing movie yesterday, and one of it was about this, actually based on a true story. I think it was called One Life. I think it's called One Life. But
Okay.
it was about this guy who saved all these children from Czechoslovakia during the World
Yeah,
War One or two. Anyways,
yeah.
turned
During
out
a war.
yeah, it turned out that he saved over 600 children. And
Wow.
one of the lines that really stuck with me was when he was he was decluttering and cleansing out his house, and um so sort of finding places for all his things. And one of the pieces that he had was a scrapbook of all the memorabilia of the children that he'd helped. And people saying, "Oh, give it to this person or donate it here." And he said he didn't want to tell the story of what he'd done because it felt like he was bragging. And what came back to him was telling people what you've done is not bragging, it's actually telling the story of how it impacted.
Yeah.
It
Well,
was,
that's interesting because I wouldn't have thought that was bragging. See, it's so
no, me
different what people
too.
think. I wouldn't have thought. I would have been fulfilled hearing the story and going, wow. But I wouldn't, if I'd heard that story, I wouldn't have gone, oh my God, have I saved that many people? I haven't even done that enough. Like I wouldn't
Yeah,
naturally jump to that. I would just jump into their story and just feel fulfilled from that.
yes,
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
But isn't it
Wow.
funny about how we can censor ourselves saying, well, but it's not enough. It's,
Yeah, it's yeah. Wow. That's an
yeah.
interesting one.
Hmm. Because the point of it was that he was more than enough.
Oh, yeah, and yeah, totally. I think yeah, it's that whole thing, and I think if we can understand that not enough is um not a full stop. It's not it's just an alertness
Yes.
would be the thing. We're not saying I'm not enough. I haven't done, I'm not enough, end of. It's not that. It's just a cue to refine, not to criticize. So, you're really just going to question yourself. What is this moment asking me to clarify or prioritize?
Absolutely. The thing that came to my mind as you were saying that, though, is that it's the honoring that you did the best you could with what was
Or
present.
what you've got right
Yeah,
here.
right there. Because
Yeah.
sometimes we can look at, I have a couple of clients that I have these kind of conversations with, because I always say you did the best you could with what you knew or what you had or what was right in front of you. And I have two clients in particular that say, no, I didn't. I could have done better. I could have done more. I could have pushed further. I could have. But what's happening in those scenarios is that
they're overanalyzed everything and filled all the gaps and
yeah, based on what they have accumulated or learned now. One of the conversations is beating
go back
themselves
to
up.
you bring your children up, or going back to that.
Yeah.
And like, I'm in my 50s now. I mean, I was in my 20s, bring my daughter up. I would bring her up differently now.
Of course.
But we're 30 years on. Well, actually, she's not that old, but she's not that, she's 25. But 25 years ago, I was a whole different person.
Of course. And you wouldn't look back at that version of you and say, oh, I screwed up.
No, she's still alive.
Yeah.
She's a medic in the Air Force. She survived. We're still talking to each other.
And she still talks to you, yeah.
That's the opposite to what I do. Yep, and I still love her. Sophie, are you listening? but it is that. It is literally that. Exactly what you were just saying.
Yeah, and that's such an important piece, because I feel like that not enough, that can be us looking back at past versions of us and say, yeah, well, you weren't enough because you didn't do this, or you let that person down, or you dropped the ball over there. Yeah, but that was then, this is now.
So would you say that is let the old you go?
Yeah.
Would that frame that up to let the old person, let the old you go?
Let
You
the
are no
old
longer.
identity, the old thoughts, see who you are right here, the version of you that's listening to our conversation right now is a product of all the things that you did and didn't do. But that's to start celebrating. Oh, there you go. Celebrate.
Got that in. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, if I had my druthers and I could go back in time to do something differently, I would, maybe. But that's not to then shame you or guilt you or ruminate or any of that. Because when your mind is saying it's not enough or that's not enough, that can create a whole bunch of rumination and beating yourself up and making yourself feel less than.
Yeah, so that's a gratitude thing, isn't it? Be grateful for, okay, well, if I didn't think I was enough by bringing up my daughter by doing it this way, what worked back then? And looking at the gratitude of that overpowers the not enough. You're reframing your brain, aren't you? You're, so be grateful you've got something to work on. Be grateful, but don't spend a lot of time on it. People don't just go, oh, I need to spend a whole day aside and write a list of gratitude. No, just go back to that moment how I brought my daughter up and just start thinking of gratitude. She managed to do this and she had this opportunity to do this and because it just shuts down the fantasy of what I should have done it that way.
The woulda, coulda, shouldas.
I do it that way. Yeah, woulda, coulda, shoulda. That's a destroyer on its own. But I think that makes a difference.
It really does. And now you said gratitude, I have to share the gratitude quote from my calendar today, because it's perfect.
Done. I'm up for that. Yeah.
This one's from William Arthur Ward, and he said, gratitude can transform common days into Thanksgivings, turn routine jobs into joy, and change ordinary opportunities into blessings.
Oh,
isn't that cool?
Lovely.
That's so cool. So beautiful.
Yep, that's gorgeous. That's yeah, yes. That's perfect. That's a perfect one.
Gratitude in all things, even having some gratitude for your mind that says not enough.
Yeah.
You see, when we can do that, be grateful for that little inner dialogue saying, I get that you want me to be successful and be seen as the most uplifted,
Yep.
aligned version of
Pos-
me. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I was just going back to gratitude for being not enough. So I was on a little journey there. I was on a little journey. I was thinking when I was thinking about this, when we go into this not enough, do we have the right people around to pull us out? I mean, listeners, I'm going to suggest Deborah and Moira, clearly, but do we have the right people around us when we're going, oh, I'm not enough, I'm not enough, I'm not enough?
Yeah.
Because we don't actually want our friends to just go, yes, you are, honey, yes, you are, yes, you're everything, you're everything. We don't want that, but we would like those quality questions that go, so what have you done that you feel is not enough? Or really, not investigate, but actually, do we have the right people around? Not because we don't want the ones who actually pump us up all the time. We would like people who actually call us on our stuff, but not to a detriment that's going to burn us out. Definitely not
No.
that, but actually make us aware. And so just check in with your tribe, your people. Yeah, we don't want the pom-pom people going, you're amazing, you are enough. Because I can tell you that you're amazing, but you have to believe it yourself. I can feed you everything, but you're the one who has to pick up the fork and feed yourself and actually go, actually, I am enough. It has to come from you. But just check in with your tribe, your people, your community around, not just your thoughts. Just make sure you got the right people around. And clearly, I'm going to say Deborah and Moira. Clearly, I'm going to say that
But of
because
course, because
it's
we
a
are
hashtag
enough.
state the obvious. Yeah. Hashtag state the obvious. We are enough. Then let's get you to, yeah, definitely. But just check in with your tribe because they can throw you right out. Your PEMs again.
Yeah.
If you've had a bad day and somebody says something, that you're 80%, I don't want to be here, I'm cranky or whatever, and then somebody says something, it can throw you right out yet again.
Yeah.
So just check in. Check in.
Check in because, and that's a good point to bring the PEMS, the physical, emotional, mental, spiritual part into this conversation because your right tribe will allow you to be authentically you.
Yeah.
And so that actually circles back into what I was saying about the how does this make me feel about me? So how does it make me feel about me being in this conversation or being in this group or saying thank you for the invitation, but it doesn't vibe for me?
Yeah.
How does it make me feel about me? So it's about really coming back into our own authentic nature, and we gravitate towards people who
You're listening to Deliciously Motivated Mindset with Deborah and Moira, here to help listeners unlock their full potential so they can thrive, not just survive. They've shared some very powerful insights so far, so it's time to take a moment to breathe, reflect, and jot down any key takeaways. What's one piece of advice that stands out to apply right away? Before wrapping up, Deborah and Moira would love to hear from everyone. Reach out with thoughts, questions, or feedback, and drop your favorite tip from today's episode. They're inspired to see how listeners are putting these insights into practice. Let's dive back in and finish strong.
and to your point, you don't want to be surrounded by a whole bunch of yes people.
No, we don't.
That
But we
doesn't,
also
that's not it.
we don't want yes, we don't want no, we want the middleman.
That's
We want
right.
those who are going to make us accountable to our life,
Yes.
but not in a burnout way.
Yeah. Not in a criticizing,
Yeah,
barbed kind of.
that you feel deflated and depleted, and what's the point of even doing this then? Yeah.
Well, because sometimes we can be in environments where we can feel the agenda, right? That I'm thinking about what you were saying about wearing makeup, because I know that there are certain scenarios where somebody would walk in with no makeup and there would be this little murmur like, oh my God, can you believe that woman just showed up with no makeup?
Look what happened when Pamela Anderson turned up at the
Yeah.
Grammys or whatever it was. Pardon me for not knowing full education, but she turned up with no makeup, and people were like, "What?"
I
She looked
know.
phenomenal.
She looked great. She
She
really
still looked
did.
polished. She looked polished on a whole different level.
Mhm.
And that blew the tabloids.
I
Who
know.
turned up no
Yeah.
makeup and no, like, what? That's
So trying
unheard
to
of.
say that she was not enough. That
Yeah,
but
yeah,
she had the confidence and the authenticity to just roll with it, smile.
yeah,
No, I had a lot of
definitely.
respect for what she did. But
I
that's
I
why I'm
was
saying they're not her
dumbfounded.
people. They're not her
No.
people.
And that's just an exact prime example
It
of
really is.
what it can look like when you're judged. And I mean, I don't know what her mind was saying or thinking, or because and even if she told us in an interview, it might not be true, so don't think that. But imagine, oh, she turned up with, like, imagine those decisions. She might have just woke up one day and go, you know what, I'm just not, I'm just gonna
Mhm.
go completely natural, that's it, done.
Mhm.
And imagine her team would have gone, what? What? Like what? What? Are we okay? Are we okay? There's a whole level of chaos that goes from that when people make decisions.
Hmm.
But yeah, she looks stunning.
She really did. Yep.
I remember looking and going,
Hats off
wow.
to her.
Yeah, and like how ballsy. But look, how ballsy that she did that, or hats off to her. We're so fixed on wearing makeup in public.
Mm.
Like, go to the Grammys,
The
go to the
glams.
Grammy or whatever it is, and they spend 4 hours doing makeup or 2 hours. God, I don't have the bandwidth to sit there that long.
No, I couldn't do that. I
I'm
couldn't do that.
I'm a well, my makeup's mostly done in the car if I do go anywhere. I was trying to think when was the last time I actually did makeup. My Facebook lives, I put them on for my Facebook lives. That's pretty much it. I don't know why, but yeah. But it's other people's opinions, and that's a beautiful example of that.
It's such a beautiful example also because sometimes this labeling of not enough, it's it's kind of like shame-based. You're
Mm,
not enough unless you look a certain way or unless you
mm,
dress a certain way or speak a certain way. No, you're enough just because you're here. That's it.
yeah,
Done.
yeah,
No more discussion. You are enough because you're in this life and you're breathing. You're a sovereign, powerful, sacred, divine, awesome human.
yeah. Yeah, and I think, when I think about this, I think, you know, right now, what's actually missing?
Hmm.
So you can question yourself, what is missing? What am I missing from this? And actually just get really clear. What But by the way, nothing's actually ever missing. I just need to say that to
No,
people.
it's not.
But we often think about that. So, getting present, I guess, would be get present right
Yeah.
now. What is actually missing? What is actually missing? Because your body's here, but your mind might be chasing something, or you're physically sitting on the couch, and what is actually missing right here? So your presence, just restores your, I don't know what it would, yeah, yeah. I know what I'm saying. I'll just stop talking.
Hmm.
But you just return to the present moment would be right now, what is actually missing? And it goes back to tip number one, awareness. Okay.
Absolutely.
Doesn't it?
Because
Goes back to
nothing's
awareness.
missing. It's like,
Yeah.
gosh, my head had me believing that there's something missing and I hadn't done enough. But when I tap right back in, hand on your heart, being
Yeah.
aware, gosh, my chattering mind sold me a bit of a yarn there, and I don't have to listen to it.
Yeah. And as soon as you get that, but that's how, can I just say, listeners, see how quick that was for Moira?
Hmm.
And yes, it was just words, but that's literally it. That's how quick it can be. It doesn't have to be this whole, it's done. It's like, wow, okay, I'm present.
Yep.
This is it. What's actually missing? There's nothing missing.
Hmm.
Wow, okay, I'll carry on. You don't have to, this doesn't have to hold you back.
And that being present, it makes me think of this really interesting experience that I just recently had. I have this water cleansing system. It's a
Yeah.
UV system. And this year is the first year I had to change the bulb by myself.
Oh,
So I was getting really anxious about it because last year my neighbor did it for me, and luckily I was there to see what he did. But I was so much anxiety, like, oh my God, what about this and what about this? And the directions are very complicated.
yeah.
And and so I did what I do. I did the Moira thing. I put my hand on my heart. I took a few deep breaths and I just, oh, because the alarm went off, because I knew it was coming. This
Yeah.
bulb has to get changed every year. The alarm goes
Yeah.
off and I'm like, okay, this is it. I can't get caught up in maybe I could ask this person and maybe I could ask this
I
person.
haven't got time.
Yep, because it's right
Haven't
here.
got time.
Yeah.
Haven't got time. Yeah.
It took me 2 minutes and it was done. And it was really, I mean, it was kind of complicated, but it wasn't really. It was my head. My mind's like, so my mind's saying you're not enough, you don't understand what you're doing. These
Yeah.
men need to do things like
I
this,
was going to
don't they?
say, and you're a female. I thought, I'm
And a
not going to give
female.
Moira that one. And you're a female. What would you know? But I giggle because this often happens as our mind, it takes us, it can take us 4 weeks to do something and we do it in 3 minutes and
I
we're like,
know.
do you
How
know
many times?
how many blooming times have I wasted my head thinking this, and this? And in reality, it's done in 3 minutes and we've moved on.
Yep.
But
I'm
I've
like,
spent
huh,
17 weeks over making
get
things
sweating about
hard.
it, getting off.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Just do it and move on. I think it's yeah, it's a great one. I just want to pull back because I know we are coming up with time-ish, but I want to go back to that tone. When Moira said
Tonality.
tonality, I just really would like to emphasize that because I started thinking when I say not enough,
Mm,
notice when your language is performance language instead of human language.
mm.
So, thinking about when you're expressing, I'm not enough, I'm not enough, I'm not enough, like that, instead of, okay, I'm not enough for this, what can I do? Your tonality comes from a grounded place, from a curious awareness, those things that trust. Okay, I'm determined to fix this, whatever this is. Like, let me unpack this. And
Mm.
you're coming from a different space instead of, oh, I'm not enough. I'm not, the shortness of breath and the hype.
Yeah.
I'm thinking
The
instead of
the
actually, okay,
panickiness.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was thinking, I labeled a performance base.
Mm,
Oh, this is me, drama, that there, performance language instead of human language. Okay, well, I feel I'm not enough here. What am I enough and what do I need to do?
mm.
And you go into a different strategy brain instead of a drama brain.
And it's actually about like being a wee bit of a detective on yourself,
Mm,
right? Just going, okay,
that's it.
okay, so
Okay, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, what
And
does this
but
look
then
like
it
and mean? And
but it also helps you lean in because maybe, just maybe, some of the things that you're getting into the performance kind of dialogue
mm-hmm.
is not yours to do.
Well,
And
most
so
of the
it's
time
kind
it
of
bloody isn't either.
I know. It's like, oh, I need to outsource that, or that
Yeah.
that wasn't mine to take on anyway,
Yeah.
right?
Who said that?
Yeah. You need this one of these big booming voices. When you start
Yeah.
having these second guessing conversations, it's like, who said that?
Yeah, that who
Yeah,
said that? But make sure you say it aloud just for shits and giggles.
yeah, yeah.
Am I allowed to
Out
say
in
shits?
public.
Too late, it's out. Yeah, yeah,
Out in
yeah,
public.
yeah. Who said that? Go for it. Go for it, people. Just make people stop in their tracks. Yeah.
Well, let's face it, by having a wee giggle, we can sometimes just totally,
Shift the
blast
dynamics.
through, shift it,
Yeah.
change
Yeah.
your state. There you go.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
changing your
change your state, Bloomin. Um, let's wrap up because I am conscious of time. But it doesn't mean we're going to finish because there's always going to be a couple of little goodies
Yep, we're
in there
going
at
to
the end.
add a few
Bound to
more
be.
in. We usually do.
Bound to be. And plus, we've got some tea bags coming. The tea bags for those who don't, those who are new, welcome. Those who are older people, previous listeners, welcome back. Thank you. We do have a little tea bag. That sounds wrong. We have a little tea bag
They're
quote.
little quotes from the tea bags.
Tea bag quote. That's the thing. But what we do now is we wrap everything up we've talked about into a condensed version. Whoops. Sorry.
Oops.
That's my alarm.
Oh, that's your
into a
alarm to say wrap this up.
Yeah, wrap this up. Keep going. We wrap it up into a condensed version. So if you didn't grab your note-taking device, definitely do it now, or even pause the audio and go and get your note-taking, unless you're driving. Pause the audio so we can actually get into this, because they are golden nuggets for us, which is our deliciously motivated mindset conversation, which is what to do when your mind says, not enough. Not enough. As Moira
Checking
says
that
Yeah.
tonality.
Yeah, how's that? Is that performance language or not?
Yeah.
Is that a great one? Or not enough? Yeah. So what we have here is the first one was awareness. And of course I talked about tonality, but once you're aware, you can deal with something. If you're not aware, you're ignorant. If you're not aware, get some education. Just open your eyes and see. And as soon as you can start seeing things, you've got something to unpack.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So awareness is your first one.
And then, yeah, awareness of the tonality is what you had said. And
tonality and the impact.
The next one was the to define what is. So I've put in my quotes on the not enough. What is the not enough? Is it that you need to do more, that you need to do less? Yeah. Yeah.
Do more or less. Yeah.
So what is that part? And one of the last tips we talked about being a detective, this helps to get really clear on what is that, right?
Yeah, on this, absolutely. And then the next one is who said that? And when you can actually look at that, who says that? Did it come from mum? Did it come from your teacher when you were 6 years old that you've stuck with now to your 50? Not saying everyone's 50 on this podcast, but that's my age. I'm in my 50s. I'm early 50s, just saying. But that, who said that? Where did that come from? Is this yours to hold? And by the way, everybody, it's never yours to hold.
Yes, right.
No matter what they say, it's never yours to hold 100% of what they say.
Yeah.
From that. But who said that? And I encourage you to go when it comes in, add a little bit of humor. Who said that? Bring it in, laugh.
Yeah, laughter is such a healing piece.
By crikey, there's enough going on in the world that we're not laughing at. We're getting a little bit frustrated with. Majority of people. I'm going to say majority of people because I laugh often at the most inappropriate times, people tell me. But I'm like, is it inappropriate? And then I'm like, Deborah, just zip. Who said that? Yeah.
The next one we talked about was you said about getting evidence. So if you're feeling like if your mind's saying is not enough, that's going to feel like a weight. It's going to feel like a bit of a kick in your stomach or something. And that might make you feel anxious or trepidatious or fearful. But getting evidence of, is that really true? Is it really true? And then allowing the emotions to guide you for sure. I'm such a big believer in that. But
it's not shutting down the emotions. Just want to clarify that. Definitely not shutting down the emotions. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's actually asking for proof. Like, do you really know that that's the truth?
Yeah.
Right. And then saying thank you to the emotions. That emotion just maybe helped me stay present and pause for a moment.
Yeah.
But I don't need to get into a big story about it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah. How does this make me feel about me? It's very simple. How does this make me feel about me? And it brings you back to me, brings you back to the present moment.
Yeah.
And no matter what that answer is, you're still enough, people.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like rubbish, or I feel like this, or I feel like this, or I feel blah. You're still enough. It's just, again, goes back to that tip number 1, awareness. How does this make me feel about me? And then you can deal with it, Because if you're not judging it, labeling it, associating to it, opening your eyes, it's difficult to see. Take your glasses off and get real.
And
Yeah.
because the next one I said was about developing curiosity. So using that question, how does this make me feel about me? If it makes me feel tired or depleted or heavy or I'm in the wrong place, get curious. Oh, what's the best step to take now?
Yeah.
Coming from the place and the understanding that you are enough. There's nothing wrong. It's having that. This is all about creating a very loving relationship with you.
With yourself again.
Yeah, you're being this sovereign being that's like, I'm doing the best I can. Right? But being curious allows you to have a little bit of playfulness that you are actually doing the right things, you are in the right place.
Yeah, and I've got trust and truth down again. And when you're being curious, just tell yourself the truth.
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah.
trust that it's going to work out clearly, but tell yourself the truth, because if you're not telling yourself the truth, you're setting yourself up for doomsday.
Yeah.
I could say that. But you are it's a lot easier to tell yourself the truth, then you can deal with it, than try and pull it under the rug.
Yep.
That's
Definitely.
But I also have just for today. And I think, we talked about curiosity, just for today, just for today, don't go, oh, what's going to come up tomorrow? Oh, but you have to go through this whole thing, you are enough right now. And just for today, I'm going to try this just for today. And it just allows you again to be present in the moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then the next one we talked about was about comparison, because sometimes this ism of not enough is because we're comparing ourselves to something or someone else. And that's when Deb was talking about what are you comparing yourself to? Are you comparing yourself to a what or a who, and what values? Right?
There was a makeup one.
Yeah, that's right. Yes.
Yeah.
Because that's such an important one, because we can say, oh, I can't do that. That was a perfect example of that. Because when you do that with some curiosity for yourself, you realize, oh, that's not my value. I don't need to do that. I am enough without the makeup.
And then I laughed.
Right.
And then I laughed. And then I laughed and went, well, you nearly bought $62 of one foundation in a supermarket that you'll never wear again.
Right.
Like it's like for a couple of hours of no. And it is that beautiful of that that curiosity as well. But it's about not enough is a signal, not a sentence. It's just an alertness. It's just alertness. That's it. It's a signal. It's not a sentence. It's not the end of it. Just like, okay, this is it. Now I'm going to unpack it. Again, goes back with that curiosity.
Beautiful. I love that. Because that actually helps you realize that sometimes that not enough undermines your sense of self-worth.
Yes.
But no, it could just be a signal to say, okay, just pause. Maybe you don't even want to go to that place.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
It's all good.
Yep. Is it my turn? Oh, what am I clarifying or prioritizing is what I've got. Oh, that was part of the other one. What am I clarifying or prioritizing? Let the old you go.
Yes.
Celebrate the new you. That's one I've got. Let the old you go, celebrate the new you. And that's where I was talking about bringing my daughter up, or anything that we did, 30 years ago, that you would do it differently, of course, because you're no longer that person. Hello.
Yeah. Yeah, that's when we were talking about you acknowledge you always did the best you could with what you had, what you knew, who you were. It's all good. Yeah.
With the money you had, with the people around you, with what was going on in your world, with your PEMs, with your stresses. Yeah. Let the old you go and celebrate the new you. Yeah.
Yep. Definitely. The next one I have is I wrote tribe, but that's when Deb was talking about making sure you have the right people around you. And like we said, you don't want lots of people that are yes people, and you don't want lots of people that are no people. You want to have people where you get to be comfortable in your own skin, to be authentically who you are, and they are authentically who they are. And so then if you're saying, oh, I don't think I'm enough, you want to have people that are like sounding boards for you to maybe unpack things. And that's when Deb also suggested, if you are needing to get help to elevate out of some type of stuck situation, reach out to myself or to Deb, because we help. That's kind of the work we do here, is to help rewire some of those limiting mindsets, right?
Yeah, because we still get them, but we
Well,
shoot
we
them out
do.
of us. We shoot them away as quick as we can.
Yeah.
I can assure you of that. I can assure you of that. And we use all the things we're telling you, and that the tips and strategies we give you are things we use for ourselves, but also for our clients and also for our loved ones. They're around. They're embedded in us. They're not. These are not. Yeah. Made
But
up stuff. They actually work for us.
we also turn to each other in times,
Mm,
like I've turned to you, you've turned to me, because we do need people to hold space for us sometimes, right?
that's right. That's right. And sometimes just sitting and feeling
Hmm.
works.
Yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't, but sometimes it does.
Yeah,
Sometimes it
sometimes you
does.
need a wee
Sometimes
bit
it
more of
doesn't.
an intervention.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Like, righto, righto,
Yep.
pity party. You've done it for 3 days. It's time to carry on, or
Yep.
not. Just joking, people. Clearly not. Gratitude.
Hmm.
If you're talking about gratitude, if you're talking about not being enough, be thankful for what you have, what you don't have. Be thankful you've got something to work on. Just be thankful, be present and thankful, and realizing you are enough allows anything to shift.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The next one I have is about talking about staying present, because this chatter, there's not enough. The story I shared was me getting all anxious and worried about changing the bulb in my water
Yeah.
filtration system. And it actually had been going on for probably about a month prior, because I knew the date was coming up. And then one morning I got up and the alarm was going off, and it was like, oh, I can't worry about this anymore. I have to go do it.
Well, it's ready. Done. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah.
But the point is, and why I brought it into this conversation, is oftentimes when we go and do the thing that we have been I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do that. I don't have the skill set or the
Yeah.
awareness or the knowledge. When we go and do that issue, that thing, my God, I think it took me like 2 minutes. Was done
Our overthinking brain
after
runs a
all of that.
marathon and diverts everywhere possible and comes out at most inconvenient times, when really, when we just do it, it's like, that was it.
That
Like,
was it.
is
It
that
was
it?
as easy as that.
That's it.
Okay.
I had to giggle because I was down in Dunedin, and I caught up with my sister, and my niece had to change her window wipers
Oh,
on her car. And so her dad said to her, well, we'll go do that together. And she was like, what's the purpose of having a dad if I have to do it together? Why?
oh
That's what
goodness.
she said. That's what she said. It's pouring with rain. It's very, like, we're in summer and we've got pouring with rain. Anyway, she's like, what's the point of having a dad? And he just went, come now, come now, come now, come
Yes.
now. So anyway, they went out there. They were literally out there spent more time getting her shoes on and her umbrella and putting her jacket on and everything, and getting everything, and getting them all to go down there and putting these new wipers on the car. Well, literally, it was a 3-minute job, not even that. But it
Right.
took her more time complaining, going down the hall, and I was just amused thinking about this, thinking, this is it. We overthink. We're
Mhm.
overthinking all this crazy stuff about this for a 3-minute job, if what it was. But I did actually like it. What's the purpose of having a dad
I
if
love
if
that.
he doesn't do that? And I was like,
That's
you
hilarious.
might need to go down and actually ask dad that. What's the purpose? And is he not actually, that's the purpose, is actually to teach you, not not
Yeah,
to
yeah.
not to be there all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
But
He's
yeah, I
here to
just
mentor you, dear.
yeah, he's here to show you. Should we do this together? And her face is like, ugh. And I wouldn't. If my dad had done that to me, I would have gone, no, dad, you go do it. I don't need to know how to change the wipers on my thing. I'm never going to do it. You've done it now. It's going to be fine till I buy my next car. But yeah, I had to giggle. And I'm like, no, he's the perfect dad, because he's showing you how to do it. You
Mhm.
do one side, I do the other.
Mhm.
It's the most perfect spot. But yeah, I had to giggle. What's the point? But when I think about this, one of the ones we had here was PEMS, which is
Yes.
your physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. And just being aware, going back to that number one, is being aware of those PEMS
Yeah.
actually allows you to go, oh, no wonder I can't do it because I've eaten too much and I'm not feeling right, or I've hurt my ankle so I don't want to walk there, or I've got a lot going on in my head. I'm incredibly emotional. I'm crying
I'm
at
just feeling
romantic
weepy.
movies,
Yeah.
or I'm crying at action movies. Like there's clearly something going on, and just acknowledging that again
Mhm.
makes you go, well, that makes sense. Now
Mhm.
that makes sense. Yeah,
Mhm.
your PEMS.
The last one I have is where you were talking about performance language. This is going
Yeah.
back to what we talked about at the beginning about the tonality of that not enough. I'm putting
Mm.
quotes around the not enough.
Yeah.
Because when it's performance, it's like you're saying about the doing and hustling and
Yeah.
performing, that creates crazy making chaos. Whereas when you can just come here, put your hands on your heart and just
I
go,
just, I went,
ah,
oh, I started putting my hands on my heart as before she even did. I was like, yeah, that's
yeah,
it.
yeah, that's all you got to do. Do you know the other thing that came to my mind when you were saying the story about what's the point of having a dad who doesn't do? But the what came to my mind is that just because it happened in your mind, you don't have to believe it.
Yes.
Just because your
Oh,
mind,
yeah.
so that was making me think of like if your mind is doing this of I'm not enough or you're not enough or you don't have to believe it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the evidence. Let's get the evidence. Really, that's what it
Yeah.
is. But that was the tips we talked about. I'm just going to add one more bit before we get our yogi tea bag. You said on your ring, you've got a
Oh
ring, and
yes,
it
a
said,
ring that says I am enough.
yeah, I am enough. Now, you don't have to go out and get a ring, people, but even these
Oh,
little
you could.
post well, you could. Yeah, totally you could. Um, you can actually also get a post-it note and go,
Yeah.
I am enough, and put it on your bathroom thingy.
Mirror.
Or,
Yeah.
even you are enough with a happy face and stick it to the back of the toilet door,
Hmm.
for guests, any of those things, just a little reminder that you see and that's going to make you smile to go, I am enough.
Hmm.
I'm enough. I'm enough. So if a post-it note or a ring or even a stone that you've found on the beach or wherever, and it can be sitting somewhere, and every time you see that stone, it's telling you are enough.
Yeah.
Whatever those little
Or just a mantra. You could breathe
visual
in
cues.
saying, you could breathe in
Yeah,
saying, I am, and then breathe out saying enough. And just
yeah,
when you're out for a walk, I am
yeah.
enough. Mantra. Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
perfect.
I love that.
Perfect.
So
Right, yogi tea bag.
as of late, it is, which seems to be a thing now that we're getting two at a time.
Yeah.
Uh, um, but the first one is the universe is within you, bright and beautiful. See, you totally
Oh,
are enough if the universe is
oh,
within you, bright and beautiful.
oh.
And
These
then
yogi tea bags, they're
I know,
great.
aren't
Yep.
they epic? And then this other one is a peaceful mind is a strong mind. Hmm.
Ooh.
See, a peaceful
Ooh,
mind doesn't
it
say not enough. A peaceful mind is a strong mind.
it is.
Yeah.
It is, isn't it? Oh, it is. It
Ooh.
is. Hmm. Wow. Well, listeners. Well, guess what? I'm wrapping up with a goodie today. I'm wrapping up with a goodie today.
But of course.
Of course, of course, of course. On what to do when your mind says not enough. So there's no performance in that one. There was
Nope.
a little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit. But I would like you to go, if you trusted your timing, what pressure could you release today?
Mm. These are good. You're on a roll with these.
If you trusted your timing, what pressure could you release today?
Like it.
There we go, listeners. Take that and let us know. So clearly, if you like this, the next step is let us know.
Yes.
But share our podcast. But we're inquisitive beings. We would love to know what you're going through. Whether you private message us or put in the chats, what are you going to release today?
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
you
We
are
would like.
enough.
You are
Yeah,
enough. Hmm.
yeah, yeah. So thank you, listeners, for coming to our deliciously motivated mindset conversation of what to do when your mind says not enough. Ooh la la. Ooh la la. What a day we can create. But if you're listening late at night, then start tomorrow.
Yeah, set the intention for tomorrow.
Start tomorrow.
Yeah.
Thank you, listeners. Thank you, internet.
Thank you, internet.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Moira, for showing up. But thank you, everybody. Let's bring 2026 to be a strong year for us all. Of being
Strong,
enough.
peaceful, heart-led, beautiful
Yeah.
year. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you, dear
Scrumptious
Debz.
year.
Oh,
Scrumptious.
scrumptious.
Yeah.
I like that.
Scrumptious. Yeah.
Thank you, dear
Thank you.
Debz.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks.
listeners. Thank you. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning into Deliciously Motivated Mindset with Deborah and Moira, where the mission is to help listeners unlock their full potential and thrive, not just survive. As the episode comes to a close, they trust you've gained some powerful insights. If you haven't already, take a moment to reflect on one key takeaway that you'll apply right away. Before we wrap things up, Deborah and Moira would love to hear from you. Reach out with thoughts, questions, or feedback and drop your favorite tip from today's episode. They're inspired to see how you're putting your insights into action. Thanks for listening, and remember to keep thriving.